There we go. We're live. Good morning. It's Michael Knight, New York, Vinnie. Mikey and Vinnie here on the Mikey and Vinnie Broadcasting Network. I don't know. It sounds bigger, doesn't it?
Yes, I've asked for the cell next to Don Lemon so that we can work on our delivery and our reports together.
Well,
And
yeah.
it hasn't been awarded to me yet.
Well, I don't know. How do they pick where they put this? Which people go in which cells? Do they have a system for that too?
I don't know
Or
why
do
they
they just
arrested him. They seem to have arrested him sort of late in the day. He was covering the Grammys here in Los Angeles when he was arrested. He was not
Well,
in
yeah, that's
Minnesota,
the interesting thing is that
which is
he
what I
was all
thought.
set to take that and run with it, and all of a sudden he's in jail.
I don't know what the charges are.
Well, some people would say being annoying. I don't agree with that, but people would say that. It brings up an interesting question, though, Mike. Now, I didn't see him get arrested. I don't know exactly what he was doing when he got arrested. I don't know if he was covering the news or if he was protesting, part of the protest, which brings up a very interesting subject, which is simply if you cross that line of covering the news or being part of the news, does that change your status as a journalist? I think it's certainly an ethical question because we've gone from the prototypical journalist of standing up there and not getting involved with what's going on to now the journalist that or the person who goes and gets involved with what's going on, the citizen journalist, if you will.
Are you're the first person today to raise the term ethics in regards to anything that the Trump administration or their dark followers.
Well, they have no ethics.
There you go. There you go. But they judge others on the basis of ethics. And I just don't know. Was there a anti-ICE demonstration going on at the Grammys that Don Lemon was covering? I hadn't heard that.
I don't know. I don't know what the situation is there. Um, but being arrested in Los Angeles at the Grammys is a whole different. I mean, again, what was he? What was he doing? Was he taking part in the demonstration or was he covering the demonstration? Um, I don't. I don't have any love for ICE or those people or anybody in this administration. But there is, I don't know. I guess I just kind of wonder what the scenario was around the arrest, and
Exactly.
what was he doing when he was arrested? I would probably hazard a guess that he was probably standing around, not doing much of anything. Um, but with this administration, you don't know. You just don't know what you don't know anything. You don't know what's going on. I haven't seen any um, tape of him. Well, yeah, I haven't seen any tape of him. Um, I'm just trying to see if. So I guess he was. I'm trying to see. So he was arrested because they say he had arrest warrants Um,
On
I'm
federal
just trying to
charges.
so he was arrested in Los Angeles, taken into custody by federal agents for charges on him against a demonstration against the Trump administration's crackdown. And earlier this week, I think one or two federal judges refused to sign a warrant on the evidence, that it was weak evidence. So I don't think there's any question in my mind. If they would have arrested him, if he was standing
Political
in
arrest.
Minnesota and protesting and doing that, then you could see it. But this stuff of arresting people, journalists, because they're there, it's just another scare tactic. It's another thing designed to make you worry, to put the seed of thought in your head that if you step out of line, you don't do what they want you to do, you're going to worry.
I wonder what the charges were. Who made the arrest? It wasn't LAPD.
No,
federal agents.
Federal agents.
Yes.
And the case was rejected last week by a magistrate judge. And 3 other people have been arrested. They violated federal law during a protest at a church in St. Paul. 2 journalists were arrested, Don Lemon and somebody else. It doesn't say who. And I'm just trying to see if quickly if it's I think it's the more I read about this thing, the more I think it's just crap. They're just I mean, it says his constitutionally protected work in Minnesota was no different than what he has always done. So I will take that to mean that he was not participating in the demonstration, but was just covering it. And if that's the case, it's nothing but a scare tactic. They're just trying to scare you.
It's as ugly and as baseless and its veracity as the comments today made by the Trump administration saying we've released the Epstein files like we promised we would, like we said we were going to, like we told everyone was going to be done. We were months late doing it. We violated the law and the deadline that we've avoided. And we just want you to know that that's it. Don't ask any more questions. Don't ask for any more pictures. We're not going to fix the redacted stuff. We're not going to comment on it in any other way. And we have nothing else left to say. It's no longer on Pam Bondi's desk. It was of interest to America and to the victims of Epstein, but now we've washed our hands, released everything. We've redacted it so it doesn't make any sense. And that's it. Don't ask any more. Don't come crying to me tomorrow and asking for more pictures or more releases or clarifications and explanations. We've got none of that for you. Count on us and trust us.
Did anybody think that it would be different? Did anybody think that he was going to suddenly say, "Oh, let's all take a look at this together"? No. And he's going to get protected by, there won't be any further probing to it because he's going to get protected by a Congress that is stuck so far up his ass that I don't know how. I mean, they're just stuck so far up there. It's ridiculous. When he drinks a cup of coffee, they get wet. It's listen. We have to understand and realize that this administration is not going to be transparent about anything. They don't feel they have to. They don't feel that they have to abide by any laws. They don't feel that they have to um, answer to anybody. And they've gotten away with it for so long that it's just natural to them. They don't feel like they had to answer for the Epstein files. They don't feel like they have to answer for anything. They just
they haven't paid a price for it. They have paid no price for taking that attitude, for going
and they probably won't,
for being illegal, for being a criminal regime.
Yeah, the sad thing is they probably won't.
There's no one to hold their feet to the fire. There's no one to prosecute them. There's no one to judge them. It's all been just water over the bridge, under the bridge, by the bridge, without a true examination of the facts or an opportunity to see the documents and photographs that apply to what would be called the Epstein files, the so-called Epstein files.
Yeah, and there won't be.
We were damn fools, Vinnie, for thinking we were ever going to see them.
I'll be honest with you. I never thought we were going to see them. I didn't think we were going to see anything. I was surprised that we saw as much as we did, to be honest with you. They weren't going to release those files. This is a government that keeps what it wants to keep secret, not just in Trump's case, but in many other things too. Going all the way back to World War II. This is a government that doesn't tell you the truth. They don't think, to quote Jack Nicholson, you can't handle. They don't think we can handle the truth. They tell you what they think is in the public interest, or they tell you what
their defense can be. They were lying to you too. We're just lying to you as every other administration was lying to you.
That's not a defense. That's not a defense. It's just a fact.
Explanation.
It's not a defense at all.
Justification.
Not a justification. It's wrong. It's what people have been protesting about for years. There's people that have been extremely upset about this kind of thing for years. But if you thought that you were going to get to see anything more than what they wanted you to see, you were wrong. And the only way that it would get out is if it were maybe if it were a Democrat, but there's enough Democrats on there that they probably don't want you to see everything as well. It's a bunch of rich people that were having a good time at the expense of a bunch of young girls. It's gone on since Roman times. And I don't believe that the Democrats would do. I mean, they do probably a little bit better. They might not have the attitude that the Trump administration has, but I don't trust that any side on this, on Epstein or many other things, are going to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They truly don't think that the American people can handle it.
So you're saying the Republicans have the truth, they won't share it with us, and if the Democrats have the truth, they wouldn't share it with us either. So they're both guilty from the gate, the opening of the gate.
I'm saying that the Democrats are more likely to tell you some of the truth than the Republicans are.
Well, we don't have that option.
But we don't have that option. But this stuff these rumors and stuff have been out there for a while. It's not like, it's like it's the stuff that's been going on, the investigations and stuff like that have been going on for a while. And Nobody seems to want to say, because there's people involved on both sides. It's international. This is a this thing. It wasn't just Trump that was going down there and joining him on that island. If you're to believe what those papers reportedly say, there were people from all stripes of the elite, the glitterati, the people, the cool people that were going down there. So no, I don't have a lot of faith that anybody would tell you the truth, because they're going to protect their friends. They're going to protect their donors. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I'm just too suspicious of the government. But did they tell what have they told you the truth about? Really, the government. What have they told you the truth about in your lifetime that you can honestly, bona fidely say that they have told the truth? Watergate, maybe? And I don't even think they told you the whole truth about that. I just don't. There's a reason people don't trust the government. So.
But this is a case where the government is, as it stands, as individuals in office serving the people, are not necessarily holding the truth from the people, because we can't judge that, because we can't see the paperwork, right, the millions of pages of paperwork that are there. We can't say we should follow up more about this, or don't redact this so fully. This apparently leads us to a smoking gun of names of people who were involved that should face justice for the, right, crimes they've committed. But if they're redacted to the point you can't even tell the involvement of the person who may or may not be involved in the document, that's of no use to anybody. That's not evidence. That's just more obfuscation. Can't say that today.
Obfuscation, yes. And it's a nice. I like that word, obfuscation.
And the people investigating who've been requested these documents, of which there are now millions and 2,000 pictures or more than that, have to have some basis of belief to follow the story closely enough to say this is where the crime would be committed if we knew who was this name. If we had more information, less redaction on this document, this would lead to charges. This could lead to someone having to face justice. But we don't even have that much. And to hear the famous line, "That's it, that's all. We don't have any more. Don't ask us anymore. Don't ask us ever again about clarification." That tells me that that's not evidence, that has been prevented from being evidence, that the smoking gun is enough to ask for more information. But I fear that this is going to be the end of it. And there will be no,
at least until there's a Democratic administration, or until
the victims come through and say he did it.
Yeah.
He did it, and he did it this day and in this locale, and he did it knowing that it was wrong, knowing that I was 16. But
yeah,
short of that,
way we're ever going to find out about it.
Short of that, the victims will get no justice.
Yeah, unless you consider, and I don't know this, but unless you consider money justice, I'm sure that some people have gotten paid off. I mean, I'm sure that some people have gotten something. People don't do this kind of stuff for free. They don't not come forward for free. Somebody usually gets something along the line.
What about the banks that helped him with his real estate and investment transactions, knowing that the money involved and the movement of the funds was connected to his broader scheme of sexual exploitation?
Well, again, what you need you need either somebody who wants to tell the truth or somebody, excuse me, somebody who is willing to unredact the papers. And there's nobody in this administration that's going to do that. There's no cavalry coming over the hill from these people. No knight in shining armor. There's a king, and that's it. And
this emperor has no clothes, but it doesn't seem to matter.
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Mm-mm.
It's not. I mean, show me a place where you think that somebody is going to stand up, either in Congress or somewhere, somebody of note, somebody of gravity, somebody of that has some pull, and stand up and say, "I saw this," and under that redacted note, piece of evidence, this guy did this on this date. This guy did this on this date. That's what you need. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, you get a judge that says that it's gonna, you gotta unredact it. But I don't see that happening. Because these people ultimately protect each other. These people ultimately stand up for each other. They don't stand up for you and me. They stand up for each other. And
yes,
you can either pray for that, accept it. You can try to fight it. I mean, there's some noble people that have been fighting it for years. But I don't know. I don't think it's a wise bet to bet that by the time the Trump presidency is over, we're going to know more about the Epstein files or who did it or what. It's why he's dead. I mean, if you think that he killed himself just for the sake of killing himself, this guy has a little too much ego to do that.
We got a bridge between Brooklyn and New York that you might want to buy.
See, it seems to me that this guy has, he just had a little bit too much love for himself to go kicking the stool out. So
on the night when the video didn't work.
Yeah, it's all a little too convenient, and you're not going to know the truth about that. I mean, somebody eventually will stand up and say it. 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, somebody may stand up.
It's easier and more to the needs of those involved to just kill him.
Yeah.
Can't we just kill this guy instead of having to put up with all this crap and worry about the redactions and everything?
Makes it easy peasy for a lot of people.
And we'll say we didn't, but we did.
And if I were Ghislaine Maxwell, I wouldn't get in any airplanes. She's got a plane crash coming in her future.
She could wake up dead.
Yeah. She knows where it all is. She's already bargained her way into a softer prison. And I'm sure when this all dies down, she'll get a pardon from Humpty Trumpty.
Because it was proven that there was no smoking gun in the so-called Epstein files. You saw them. We gave you everything. You couldn't make a case with 2 million pieces of phony evidence. Don't blame me. The case is done. There was never anything there anyway. We told you that before we got started. You just didn't believe us. Now you've seen everything. Don't complain that there's not enough evidence or there's names that have been redacted. That's not our fault. We gave you everything like we said we would. Right off the desk of the so-called of the one-time Justice Department. The Justice Department, which now arrests whoever is, they want to arrest Obama. That's the next
yeah.
thing.
He's going to go after everybody. He's going to go after everybody he can. They swooped down the other day and down on Atlanta and commandeered the voting records down there. So he's proven he's not over 2022 yet.
2020.
2020, excuse me. He's not over 2020
and
yet.
he uses his representative to the United Nations to do black work, seizing documents that have to do with the election. What does she have to do with anything except to work for the man, to work for the dictator, to represent his needs, to grab evidence that was the property of the state of Georgia, to reassemble it, use it as evidence in their case against the veracity of the 2020 election. This is all a setup, a means to litter the path with breadcrumbs. We told you that there was a problem with the election. We've proven it. It's a situation that cannot be rectified until we put somebody in jail for the fixing of that election, the 2020 election. And I told you we only needed 11,000 votes to make the difference, and there were plenty of those votes there. No one would look at it. We had to do this ourselves. I had to send my best people to Georgia to seize all the evidence, and so I could show the American people what I've been talking about. I meant well.
If he didn't get indicted after that, it's like the gun laws. If we didn't make gun laws after Sandy Hook that took guns out of people's hands, then, the bumper sticker of 2026 is going to be America, you fucked up. Because that's what happened in 2022. Or 2024, excuse me. I'm getting my even years mixed up. But that's the bumper sticker for the next 3 years. America, you fucked up.
Yeah. You brought this on yourself. You sowed the seeds of your own
back to Congress that kowtowed to this guy, and the people with any sense ran away. The only one that stood up out of the crowd was Liz Cheney. So I don't know what we can do about it, if anything. I don't think there's much we can do. They don't have the votes to impeach him. Or at least not until next January. And they just it's just sad. And this is how petty Trump is. I mean, he's petty in many, many, many ways, but there's the I forget if it was the Danish embassy or the Swedish embassy, or I think it was the Danish embassy. It was the American embassy in Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
Had, I think, 48 or 50 flags in the garden in front of the embassy that symbolized the 48 Danish soldiers who died in Afghanistan as a memorial to them.
Don't ask us again.
Trump ordered those flags taken out of the garden. So some veteran went down there and she put 500 flags in the garden. But that's how petty they are. Yes. They want to. Do you know what they're doing in national parks, Michael? They're going around in national parks taking anything that refers to slavery, anything that refers to the bad history of this country,
Rewriting the history.
And they're pulling it off the walls. They're pulling it off off of those cards that are in national parks to tell you that this happened here, or this was the site of this, or this was that. This is a white nationalist government, and they want to erase anything that people are taught about the struggle that other people have had in this country. And
it's true.
Short of us speaking about it, two guys without a lot of power at all. I don't think there's a protest today, an ICE out protest, but
there's two in Pasadena. There'll be one at Pasadena City College at 12:30, and then at 6:30 this evening at City Hall, there'll be a second larger one, and the public is invited to come. The pressure to organize and to give voice to that disappointment is there. And the interesting thing about this is that our nation's history is such that we ignore a problem and obfuscate our interest in it until there's a critical mass reached. And the idea that the public can bring that about by demonstrating in the streets is something that I think we have to entertain as our only means of putting this right.
Well, to do that, and I agree with you, today was supposed to be a day that people were supposed to take off of work, supposed to not go to work, supposed to strike, supposed to have
don't
a day
work, don't buy, don't shop.
Right. Don't buy, don't shop, don't do anything.
Correct.
Just go out and gather. But you know what? There's no less cars out on the street, no less people working. All the stores are open because
it's a Friday.
Oh, yeah. And people aren't going to, they're going to sacrifice to a certain degree. But if it means money out of their pocket, if it means that they're going to lose a day's pay, I mean, the government has you in a nice hole. You can't afford to lose a day's pay, can you, with the way prices are?
And the way everyone's interlinked. Let's say we have a business. You want to work and I want to strike. Well, you can't do both. So we have to compromise, and you have to come to your senses and just say, I support this, but I can't take part by closing my shop.
Right. I and they know that.
Excuse me.
Bless you. They know that they're not that a general strike is never going to happen in this country.
Well, I'm not going to go that far, but probably not.
Probably not. So again, you're stuck. If you had a general strike, yeah, maybe maybe the message would get there. But I don't. You know what? I don't even know that with a general strike they'd get the message.
I'm going to drop by the 6:30. Just drive over to City Hall and see what it's like. I just want to see who in my city is going to turn up. And by that, I mean, I want to look at them. I want to see who's out there. I want to see if it's average folks, if it's grandmas and housewives and guys from the corner. I just want to judge by, and you could come to the same conclusion, looking in your neighborhood, seeing who was there, getting a feeling for it, getting a feeling for the anger or the interest or the authenticity or the clarity that comes from viewing it yourself. And being able to say, I was there and I saw what my city did. And here's what I think the result was. Here's who I came to the conclusion that these really were my neighbors, and they really were concerned and did turn up for the right reason.
Yeah. I think that I don't know why this does that.
I think we got a car. I think we're going to find out what Vinnie's driving.
Yeah, a little later though, not right now. It's just loading it, and
Okay.
I don't know why every time I load something, it just goes on the air. So anyway, yeah, I think listen, I live in an area, as I think you do too, that people do care. I was having dinner last night in this little restaurant with my daughter, and the people at the table, we were talking about this, and the people at the table next to us, jumped in on the conversation. Two people, 80 years old. She said, and this woman is saying, I never seen anything like this.
That's what everybody said, man. That's what everyone comes to the conclusion.
And
this shouldn't be happening here, and it can't happen because it's never happened before, but now it's happening.
It is happening, folks. Don't kid yourself. It is happening. But
right.
You have when you have a country that runs like this one does on money, and when you have a situation that people are afraid to take a day off because
money and lies.
Yeah. I just think we're it's just yeah, you're not going to solve it. And and again, the Democrats are better, much better, appreciatively better. But I don't know. It just seems that the people that hopefully a lot of people are going to change their mind between now and the election, the midterms. And hopefully people will get out and work for people who will affect change. Or this guy is going to do something so serious that that even the Republicans will want to impeach him.
The number
or he'll die,
the opposition by Republicans is growing so slowly and so in such a feeble manner. I just don't think I can ever count on the Republicans to do the right thing.
Well, no,
given the opportunity to do the right thing for their nation, I don't think they will.
They've been given the opportunity many times. Many times they've been given the opportunity to do the right thing, and they've never done it. They had a chance to get rid of this guy. I don't know, in his first term. 2 times he was. If January 6th didn't make you want to never let this guy touch anything in Washington, D.C. again, if it didn't tell you that this guy should have been put in jail.
Insurrection Day.
Yeah. What are you worried about the Epstein files for? That's nothing compared to what he's done and what he's gotten away with.
They urinated and defecated in the Capitol. That was their offer. That was their contribution. That was their signature. That was their. It's impossible to believe.
They were going to kill his own vice president from the party.
Lynch him. They were going to hang him there, and
they were going to hang
with the background of the American flag and the speaker.
And they didn't, and that didn't cause them to make sure that this guy would never run again. So, in reality, the Epstein files are small potatoes to them. They don't give a crap about a bunch of women getting attacked.
Small potatoes. That's a great phrase, and it's so apt to be used in this example.
Yeah.
What can you tell the victims of the Epstein case, except that they're small potatoes?
Did you see that Springsteen put out a song?
Yes, indeed.
And
Trump went to great lengths to downplay it.
yeah, well, he can't downplay it. He wanted, he immediately went on a insult rant
Right.
on his Truth Social to insult Springsteen and say he had no talent. Yeah, he's got no talent, and Lara Trump does. And it's I mean, we were talking about protest songs. Anyway,
there was a
I'm
time
glad he
when
put it out there. I'm glad that that he sat down and wrote. It probably wasn't too hard to write. All you had to do is put the words in the right. It was like the Soul Train scramble. All you had to do is put the letters in the right order.
Right.
And it's a good song. If you should go on YouTube and check it out. The biggest thing that can happen right now, to me, is that people make this song go to the most streamed song in the United States or most streamed song in the world over the next few weeks.
I wonder if anyone is going to showcase it. Stephen Colbert having Springsteen on.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I would hope that at least, well, again, I don't know if he wants to go and perform it or what, but he put it out there, so I would think that he does. And yeah, Colbert or Saturday Night Live or somebody ought to have him on to do it. Colbert seems like the most likely because he's got nothing to lose. Or Jimmy Kimmel too. I mean, Kimmel has really been outspoken.
Yes,
so,
Jimmy's had great.
So hopefully one of those people
working in the events of the day, probably better than anybody.
Yeah, and let's just right now, just so we go on record, Michael and I both invite you, Bruce Springsteen, to come on our show.
Yes.
And sing the song. And
we're fans of yours, Bruce.
Right, all the time you want. Take as much time, and we can work up probably a check for a few $100 to have you come down. We can certainly, if you have a computer in your house, you could just sit at your desk and perform it for us, and we would be happy to broadcast it. We'll give you our number to get in on our guest line, and we'll set it up so you don't even have to leave your house.
And we've played your records in the past. We've supported you in your.
Heck, I met you. I'm the guy that talked to you about the gas station at the Shoreline Amphitheater several years ago. We talked for like 5 minutes. I was shocked at how much time you spent with us in between sets of your show because I talked to you about. As a matter of fact, you'll probably remember us because me and my friend Lorraine, we were at the head of the line, the meet and greet line, and then we walked all the way down and stood at the end of the meet and greet line. And then you came up to us again, and I said to you, we were so excited about meeting you that we wanted to meet you twice. And you started laughing, and we talked about gas stations and living next door to one, and my father owned one. That's me. And
that's great. I didn't hear that story before.
Oh, yeah. Lorena and I we was at the Shoreline Amphitheater. We went, And we got it. We did the meet and greet, and we went to the head of the line, and we met him, and kind of the standard between shows, kind of, he doesn't even know who he's looking at. We went down to the end of the line. I said, "Come on, Lorraine." We stood at the end of the line, and he got down and he looked at us, and he said, "Did I meet you?" And we said, "Oh yeah, but we wanted, we waited so long to meet you that
twice as nice.
we wanted to meet you twice." And he started laughing. I don't know if anybody had ever done that to him before, but he started laughing, and we started laughing, and then I started saying, "Oh yeah," and then he autographed my backstage pass.
Oh, great!
And because there were no cameras in those days or anything, no cell phones. This was like 1993. No, what was it?
The Dark Ages.
Maybe 92 or something like that. And
that's incredible.
Yeah, it was a great moment. Great moment. And so Bruce, if you want, you can contact me, Vinnie. Just do Vinnie at drivetime-radio.com. Vinnie at drivetime-radio.com. Send me an email. We'll set it up. Have Dave Marsh call me. You want to have Steven call me, or you just want to email me yourself, and I'll get back to you right away. I'll be watching my email all day, and I'll get back to you right away.
Wonder how they got the video ready so quickly.
Well, if he can get the video ready so quickly, he can come on the show, and just give me a day to get ready. But don't worry, if you got to do it right away, call me. We'll turn this thing on any time of the day and night, and even if we got to record it, we'll record it.
We'll be happy to do it. We'll go the extra mile.
Yeah, well, whatever you need, whatever we could do. Like I said, we'll take up a collection. I'm figuring that we could probably come up with $500 at least
to cover your freight.
Yeah, to cover you, or if you got to get an engineer. Matter of fact, we'll make sure that you get $500, and the engineer gets paid too. If you have to get an engineer in there, somebody to help you with your guitars, whatever they get, we'll make sure that they get paid, because we don't want anybody to work for nothing. We understand it's a business.
That's not fair, right?
So we'll cover it. I know it's not as much money as Lorne Michaels offered the Beatles back in in the 80s.
But it's close. It's very close.
But it's I'm sure that if you need that much, and I think he offered them $3,000, that we could come up with $3,000 if we had to. So we'll get in touch with me. So that's we've made our offer.
I haven't seen anything in the trades that's talking about what rock stations are playing it. Have you?
No.
Because
I haven't even looked at streaming numbers to see if it's being streamed. I mean, I was listening to WCBS FM in New York this morning, and they weren't playing it, or they didn't play it in the time I was listening.
Or did they treat it as a news story and just play 10 seconds of it?
No, I was listening to FM. I was listening to music. I wasn't listening to the AM. For some reason, Alexa wouldn't give me the AM.
Huh.
By the way, some sad news this morning. One of my favorite actresses, Catherine O'Hara, has passed away.
Oh, no.
71 years old. A part of Second City TV, Home Alone, Beetlejuice, Schitt's Creek.
So funny.
Yeah, a funny actress. And just from what I understand, a darling person. So
that's too bad. She was a real talent.
Yeah, she really was. Everything I've seen her in, I don't think I've ever seen her in anything that I didn't like, and she was great. on SCTV. About a year and a half or 2 years ago, I kind of got into watching the reruns of that.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, you could see the talent way back, way back.
The type of person that doesn't do anything and makes you laugh. She just reacts to it. Just being there. She's funny.
Yeah, she was part of that great group of performers from Second City, Eugene Levy and John Candy and Dave Thomas and I'm blanking on the woman's name now, the other woman.
Rick
Moranis, yeah. All them people that that were so talented, gave Saturday Night Live a run for their money. And as a matter of fact, they had a couple of people from Second City that wound up on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
The ones I could think of off the top of my head was Tony Rosado and Robin Duke, were two people that went from Second City, I believe, from Second City to Saturday Night Live. And what is that woman's name? It's I can't think of it right now, but she plays a lot of Mediterranean parts. She was the aunt in My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and she also had a TV series not too long ago.
Dukakis.
Who is it?
Dukakis.
No, much younger. No. Anyway. So that's so now we got it's been a crazy week, man.
Yeah. We're not done.
This is one of the crappiest weeks that I can think of in a long time.
It's a record.
It's just sad.
It's so busy that we haven't talked about Sam Darnold's oblique and how he's going to muscle through his injury and have enough of a recovery to be able to deliver for the Seahawks.
Well, he didn't look like he was obliquely damaged in the championship game.
Well, in the best traditions of the NFL, they shot him up.
Yeah, well, and I don't know. Again, I've heard stories that the oblique isn't that bad, that it's been blown out of proportion by the media.
It's a pull muscle that helps you throw, though, so that's a problem.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that.
And think of what it's going to feel like when he gets sacked, if he does.
Yeah, well, he luckily avoided getting. Did he get sacked in that game? That championship game? I don't think he did.
No,
by the way, Andrea Martin is the person I was thinking of. Yeah, I don't think he got sacked in that game, but I think he'll power through it.
We're expecting him to do fine.
Yeah, they revealed the uniforms, and New England will be in the whites, and the Seahawks will wear the same uniform that they wore for the last Super Bowl that they were in, which consequently was against New England.
All blues.
Those deep blues with the neon stripe, the blue pants. They will go with that. I was kind of hoping that they put the retros on.
Yeah.
Being it's their 50th year, the Seahawks. I was kind of hoping that they would go with the retros, but I guess the NFL, everybody that wants a retro jersey has one. So they want to get people to buy the new one. I got, who knows what the NFL's marketing situation is, but tickets at a minimum face value Most of the stadium, $4,500. So if you want to go to the Super Bowl with a friend, between parking and getting a couple of hot dogs and stuff, you're gonna be in it for 10 grand.
Several thou.
So if you're thinking of going, that's what the price is. Which will certainly mean I'm not going.
And you don't have to bring your own ice because ice is going to be there. They've decided that they want to go. They like to go to sporting events. They're going to go to the Olympics. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. Maybe opening day for baseball, ice can come to your house as you watch the game.
It's going to be interesting to see if they show up at spring training. Ice.
Taking those Venezuelan infielders back home.
Making sure. I mean, usually baseball does a pretty good job of getting the proper visas and stuff like that, but I don't think that matters to ice.
No.
They got to, listen, they got to dial this thing back. They're, it's just gotten out of hand. And I don't know, Tom Homan has gone up there, and at least he's thrown some kind of sand on it for the moment. But it's only a matter of time until it pops up again. I don't think that anybody believes that this is the last we've heard of them. Or the last we've heard of Kristi Noem and her stormtroopers. Proving that
the secret police has got people worried to the point where they're saying Oregon is next, California is next, Chicago will be revisited. They don't know where it's going to be, but they're not going to go to Florida. They're not going to go to Texas. They're not going to go to any red states. They're not going to bother any governor who supports the Fuhrer.
Right. Well, it's plainly a political thing.
Right.
It's
truly.
Yeah, and any fool can see that and knows that, and anybody who doesn't think it's a political thing is out of their mind.
I mean, if there are people. I was going to ask you what you're driving today, Vinnie, because it's 11:11 on my clock.
Yeah, what do you know? What am I driving this week? Well, let's just kind of crank it up there and see what if we can find what I'm driving. What are we driving? Okay, that's what I'm driving, Michael. Look at that beautiful car. Do you know what that is?
I don't. Tell me.
That is one that we have never seen before. That is a Lucid Air, and this is a relatively new car. This is what you should buy instead of a Tesla. If you are upset because you can't stand Elon Musk, and you want a luxury electric car, you can buy this car and not have to buy a Tesla. It's made in America, and it's built in Arizona. The company is in Southern California, not too far from you. It is a luxurious car. It is a wonderful car. It rides beautifully. It handles beautifully. It gets the most range of, I think, any electric car. This thing gets, I think, 400 miles of range.
I like the dash.
It's really a notebook computer on wheels. It's got a trunk and a frunk, and it's just a solid ride. It's quick with the acceleration. I think there's several variants of it. I think the one I'm driving is the lower one that has about 400 horsepower, a little bit more than 400 horsepower. It's quick off the stop. It is just a solid effort that's had some improvement. They changed the heat pump in the thing so that the heating and cooling system is much better than in the first couple of years that they had this thing out on the market. Mm-hmm. Everybody who has reviewed these things, who has driven these things, loves this car. It's I've driven a couple of times at events. This is the first time I've had it to drive over a week. And just from the 2 small drives that I had in it, I put it on my list for car of the year both years.
Who's the money
that I had it.
behind the company? Do you know? Do you know who
Say again?
the parent company or the money behind the project?
I mean, I don't know who the investors are, but they seem to have enough of them because they're doing good. They just came out with an SUV that people are raving about. It's a cavernous 9-passenger SUV that is got, I think, close to 500 miles of range. And again, it's the seats are comfortable. It's very high tech. Everything is controlled off of an iPad-like panel in the middle that actually is kind of funny. It folds up, and you got storage space behind it, unlike the Tesla.
Wow.
It is, and again, it's a bunch of people have invested in this car to bring this car to life, and none of them is named Leon. Well, I know that actually, but none of them is named Elon. And that right there makes it worth looking at. If you're a person going to go buy a Tesla, you said, well, Tesla is most advanced. Yeah, the electronics and the software may be a little bit more advanced in the Tesla, but this car, it feels much more solid when you get in a Tesla. It feels like this car.
You probably heard that Tesla shut down its Livermore plant for manufacturing cars. They're going to convert it to manufacturing robots.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, they're always shifting stuff.
They had a very unhappy workforce in Fremont, and there was no way that they could continue. They went to court. The employees revolted. It was ugly, and it was racial in its nature. That was the problem, and hard to believe that in these day and times in the Bay Area, you would have a factory making cars and undermining their product with a racist-based vendetta against its own employees. So they just shut it down, stopped making cars. They're going to make robots.
Well, how many people are they going to cut? How many jobs are they going to lose?
Hundreds.
Well, that's sad. I don't like to hear about anybody losing their jobs. We just heard up here yesterday that upwards of 16,000 people are going to lose their jobs here
in the tech industry
with Amazon.
Wow.
Because of AI. And this is something that this is something that's going to be the future for a lot of people. When these robots get built and business figures out how to use them and how they can use them in their daily business, their daily course of doing business, you're going to see a lot more layoffs like this.
When they teach the robots how to make cheeseburgers, there goes your entry-level position at McDonald's.
I think they have robots that are making burgers at McDonald's. I remember reading about that months ago, that there's already robots that are cooking burgers at some McDonald's.
Can you set them for medium rare?
Yeah. Well, does anybody ever order a medium rare hamburger at McDonald's?
You can order it that way. They cook them all the same.
Yeah, you can order it how you want to order it, but and I know that they have. I've already dealt with the robots at where you give them your order, and they already have AI drive-throughs that you never contact a human. It's all done, but I take that back. There's a human that hands you your
credit card
order.
Receipt. Oh, I see.
And then you hope that it's you hope that it's right. You hope that it's what you ordered. But I guess you hope that it's what you ordered when a human cooks it too.
Yeah,
but
truly.
But that means that instead of a 5-person crew at a Jack in the Box, they have a two-person crew or a one-person crew. So
Yes.
where are all the people that aren't so bright that work at these fast food kind of jobs? Where are they going to get jobs?
If they can be part of the political criminal class. That's the greatest growing work. That's the word I'm looking for. The greatest definition of your. I can't think of it. Political criminals. That's the future of America. Get involved now. Get in the ground floor for that.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope that people have a little more dignity and class than that. Although, if you got to feed yourself, will that turn it into the kind of place where you won't be able to go out of your house at night?
What do you got planned for 11 o'clock tomorrow, Vin?
Well, we're gonna Vinnie will have this beautiful Lucid. We'll dig into it a little bit more, take a look at the interior, and
car.
so on and so forth. And then we're also going to spend some time talking about some new laws that are being proposed that are going to affect people with collector car license plates and expired tabs. There's several 100,000 people driving around Washington with expired tabs. They figure it's cheaper to get caught with the tabs expired than it is to register the car. And
maybe
what's going to happen after a certain time if you get caught with expired tabs? And what can be done about it? Are you willing to drive around with expired tabs and risk a fine and a ticket? And because it's only an equipment violation. And I believe this new law wants to make it more than that. So that's definitely something.
Doesn't it risk your valid insurance?
Yes, I think it does. I think it does. Probably, actually, to be honest with you, probably not. As long as you're paying your insurance bill. Now, if you get into an accident with that car,
all bets are off.
And you have a slimy insurance company, they may turn around and say, well, your car wasn't registered. We're not going to pay the claim.
Right.
That's probably not unheard of. So, you're probably, but, to be fair, they're paying for all of this light rail extension stuff on the backs of car owners. If you have a new car, you're talking $1,000 to register it in King or Snohomish counties or Pierce County. $1,000.
Does the light rail go to the airport?
Say again?
Does the light rail go to the airport from all
these? Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. It goes. Matter of fact, they're opening up a piece now that's going across the floating bridge and over to Bellevue. So Seattle does truly have a light rail transit system, something I didn't think I'd see in Seattle. But it's
the way it's
running
divided up with the bridges and bays and things.
Yeah, it works good. It when it goes across the lake, it will hopefully maybe unite Bellevue and Seattle a little bit more, make it a place that it'll be easier to get between than to drive. And maybe the people in Bellevue will start talking to the people in Seattle while they're on the train.
Possibly.
I wouldn't count on it, but maybe. All right, man.
Have a good show tomorrow, Ben. 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock for drive time tomorrow morning, and we'll get busy with that. We'll have a lot of fun on drive time. We always do on Saturday morning at 11. All right. See you on Monday.
Monday
if the
it
Lord's
is.
will and the creek don't rise.
I look forward to it, I think.
Yeah. It's who knows what's going to happen on the weekend. All right. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. Appreciate it. And We'll see you tomorrow morning for drive time at 11 o'clock. Take care of yourself. And remember, keep the faith, peace, love, and Manischewitz, baby.